Okay, so good morning here early in the Philippines. I'll wait till somebody comes on, then I'll start talking, I guess. A long time since I've done a live stream. Is it just me or certain people doing like 3 videos a day? A couple of times I thought I'd go live and I go, well, no, that guy's on live and that guy's on live. So, I'll just let them do their thing. Okay, good morning. Can you hear me? Can you see me? I guess is the first question. Thanks for checking in. Morning, Peter. Are we 5 by 5 here, kids? Hey, how you doing, Global Greg? Number 1. I got off track on the video I did for you, but, I was distracted. Hey. Kind of a weird time for me to be on, huh? It's almost 4 in the morning here, but that's kind of my MO on waking up. Good morning. Good morning, David. 5-5, right on, Fred. Thanks, brother. Everything good there? Thanks, Richard. I still haven't got the metal detector. It's been raining. So it's one of the reasons I'm up so early. I was sleeping all day because it was raining. Let's see. To honor Paul's celebrity status, I'm opening a cold one. How will I have one, man? I'm up really, really early, bro. Rain has just been, some typhoon's been coming through, then another typhoon came through. And so every day that I made a plan, the only thing that we did was, what was it? Wednesday, day before yesterday. And we went to a resort because May wanted to do a thing at the resort. So we went. Thank you very much, James. I love doing the channel. Let's see. Hi, my dad. Watch your channel on the way to work. Keep it up. Love you. Thank you very much, Adam. Yeah, I was tongue in cheek. I thought for the first video I did on that channel, I have a different channel, by the way, boys and girls, but we're keeping it top secret. Really want to keep that channel small, by the way. And at the last minute, since I was at this resort with May, I had this idea, and I thought it pulled off. It was just I just wanted to have some fun. We'll get into other subjects and stuff like that later on. Watching from the UK. Well, right on, bro. Norm Macdonald, dead at 61. That has affected me a lot. That came out of nowhere. And I've been kind of down in the dumps for the last couple of days behind that. I'm not much of a, boo-hooer when celebrities die, but I felt an attachment to Norm that he was somebody that I would watch and still do watch every day, religiously. I would watch his stuff over and over again. If no one's ever heard the moth joke, you're missing out. And if you ever saw the episode on Conan where he came out as a deeply closeted gay man, you're missing out. So, my humble opinion, do what you want. But I thought he was a comic genius and fearless. And just no one could duplicate Norm. You couldn't tell a Norm joke. It was impossible to tell a Norm joke. Let's see. My girlfriend in Dumagetti texted me that she has no power for a few hours ago. Mark, let me tell you something, brother. Today is the 16th, I want to say. I can barely see. Yeah, and for the first 11 days of this month, we've had outages. Some lasted for 30 minutes. Some lasted for 5 hours. So hopefully that shit's over with. Good morning, my friend. The guy was named after a clown, literally. What could possibly be funnier than that? And I don't know what, and I don't know, and the stopping now. I'm not sure what that means, buddy. Yeah, you were the first person I thought of when I heard about Norm dying. He was so underappreciated, under my opinion. Love the Cosby joke on comedians in cars getting coffee. You know, I got in trouble, not in trouble, but I had a guy write to me one time because I was interviewing a young lady. Gosh, this was back in Highland Villas. This is over 2 years ago. And I was chatting with her, and I asked her, and I had a drink. I had, like, you know, a beverage. And I asked her, I said, would you like a sip of beverage? And she said, no. And I said, well, why not? I said, you know, she said, I'm not thirsty. I said, well, you should try it. It's my special Cosby blend. And I took all kinds of shit from a guy that that I should not be making fun of rape. I said, I'm not making fun of rape. It was just a joke. It was, you know, anyway. If you talk to one person, there's a 50-50 chance you're going to offend them. If I talk to 100 people right now, there's a good chance I'm going to offend 50% of you. I had typhoon a couple of weeks ago, took down my in-laws' house completely, shit, right down to the foundation. 7 family members, including her in-law, lived in that house. That is a shame. I am sorry to hear that. I'm getting to the end here, which means this thing's going to skip. Me and my comments. So 84 are on here with us. I appreciate that. Here we go. Paul and Phil, that joke about the drink was funny. People are too damn serious nowadays. Now, this is a guy that I know personally, and I would tell you his background and history, but I'll keep it quiet. And he said, he wrote to me on Messenger that, and he scalded me like he was my father, that you never, ever, ever joke about rape. I mean, he scalded me like he was my father. And I just let it go. I was going to come back at him, and I was going to say, you know, I have a son doing a prison stretch right now, 10 years. You really think I find rape funny? I mean, every day I have to go to sleep knowing my son's in prison, and one of them. And so, but I didn't throw that in his face. But I did do a video a little later, because this particular guy happens to be very well off. And I'll give you a little Doomageddon dirt, okay? There are some guys that are well off, and birds of a feather flock together. And they have actually formed a breakfast club. Are you ready for this? That is comprised of other well-off foreigners here in Dumaguete/Valencia. These are the guys that own the cars and the big houses and, you know, go golfing and all that. And I say, God bless you. You've got a lot of money, and you're doing what you want to do. You're over here. You came for whatever reason you came for, primarily, I guess, to meet somebody younger that you couldn't meet in the States. You brought your money with you, and you're doing your life. But these breakfast clubs that they've formed, you have to be voted in like a country club, and it has to be a unanimous decision. And the guy actually came over to my apartment way after this comment thing, just to see where I was living and to say hi because he hadn't been in touch with me for a while, and sat and let me know that he had formed this club, and that, but it was invitation only. And I sat there and I said, "Oh, well, that's nice," and then proceeded to not invite me. And so now I refer to them as the Illuminati. And all I can get out of in my head is that these guys sit around and it's like, instead of a meeting, it's like one of those eyes wide shut parties, you know, where everybody's sitting upstairs wearing masks, getting blown. So, and every chance I get, I throw it in their face when I meet one of them. I go, "How's the Illuminati doing?" They hate me. I'm only offended if you take my beer. I remember that Cosby playing. Do you really? It was hilarious. Screw the haters. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, but this guy actually lectured me. He had the balls to come on and lecture me. And I was like, fuck you. You know what? I'm going to say whatever I want to say. You don't like it? Start your own channel. Pardon my French. No politics shall be touched in this joke, except for Bill Clinton jokes. Late to the party. No, you're not, buddy. Hey, brother, how you doing, man? Yeah, I've been suffering a lot of brownouts here. And I've gotten started on stuff and just stopped right in the middle because, boom, out go the lights. And my other little channel, I managed to squeak out one video because we were in a different location. And May did a video there, but that didn't really go as I thought it was going to go. But let's see. So many people easily offended now about anything and everything. I can't speak for the other people, but I am much more circumspect what I say around and what I say around people in the last 10 years. I'm kind of letting that go. I used to be a people pleaser, and that's one of those things that I dropped. It almost fell off of me. It wasn't a conscious decision. And now I just speak my mind no matter who I'm talking to. And if they like it, cool. If they don't, that's even better. Best non-invitation ever. That's a club you don't want to be in. Good Lord. Yeah. Yeah. What did Woody Allen say? I'd hate to be a member of any club that would have me as a member. But I just picture these guys. I love to break balls. And so whenever I bump into one of them, in fact, another vlogger friend of mine happened to go to, they meet at this, now they meet at a certain place. It's almost like a secret location, but they used to meet at different restaurants or foreigner bars. Sports bars is the better way to describe it. And a friend of mine that's a vlogger, I won't bring his name up, went in, at breakfast, and they happened to be there. And he recognized 4 or 5 of the guys, and he sat down and was chit-chatting with one of the guys. And one of the so-called members came along and said, this is a private meeting, right? And you're sitting in my chair. It's just when you think you're getting away from all the shit in America, they come here with it. Good morning, Paul. So early over there, did you get the roosters get you up? I hate those roosters. Oh, I'll be petting big rats when I get there again. They like biting roosters' necks. Yeah, I got a real loud rooster next door to me, but he don't wake me up. I'm used to him. Let's see. The great Groucho Marx said, I wouldn't want to be in any club that would have me as a member. Was it Groucho? I thought it was Woody Allen. But okay, Groucho. Well, yeah, Jim, I never went anywhere. It's just that every time I turn on YouTube, so-and-so's having a live stream in the morning and then one at night, and then posted a video, and then somebody else is live. And the last thing I want to do is infringe on anybody's time. And, because it just sort of like dilutes the audience, if you will. And I'm just so grateful that I don't earn my living or depend on YouTube income or super chats or AdSense or anything for me to survive over here. It's just kind of like more of a hobby for me than anything else, and something to do and a purpose, and hopefully entertainment for you guys to some degree. And it's morphed into a lot of different things over the last 2 years. So, God bless him. I had one guy, let's see, no politics shall be discussed in this chat except for Paul's run for barangay captain. Yeah. Can you imagine that? What an awful job that's got to be. Barangay captains are like the neighborhood watch guys, and everybody takes their petty little arguments to them. Can you imagine sitting around listening to that all day? Good Lord. I've never met a barangay captain. And I had one other thing that I'm going to bring up. Let me go through some comments and I'll bring it up. This is what happens when you bring the West to the East. Let's allow the East to be the East, the West to the West. We don't need the secret societies unless they have cookies. Exactly. But you know what? It's a very small group of guys. It's not like it's permeated the society here. It's just a group of guys. And I've always said the biggest form of racism is economic. And I think that drives home the point. These are all well-off guys. It's kind of like a private country club. And they'll only allow certain members in. I think the word racist gets thrown around way too easily these days. And I don't know if that's racist or not, but it is definitely, yeah, it is racist. I don't know another way to put it. It's exclusive, and it's not all inclusive. So I don't know if that's racist or not. Racist is more of hate, but I don't know. It rubs me the wrong way. In fact, it's kind of like, I'm glad they're all together because now you just got one bag of assholes that you can avoid. Let's see. Lot Dermadetti fell out of the chair. Too funny. These guys are a dime a dozen as they think dollars per. I must be a COVID reject. I've been traveling around the country in my little Toyota motorhome as if nothing is happening. I want to come to the Philippines, but I guess it ain't happening. Oh, it'll happen, man. I've heard guys say they're coming over here in October. So I think things are starting to loosen up. Thailand is doing a little experiment called the Sandbox, and some guys are going over there. There are a lot of hoops. Poor Bud Brown had to go from Dimangeti to Cebu to take care of some stuff. He had to have a vaccine card. He had to have an S-Pass. He had to have this. He had to have that. On the way back, he didn't have one of the passes. And I think the guy that, well, I won't go there. He could have been better informed by somebody that was helping. Groucho Marx also said marriage is a fine institution. Who wants to spend the rest of their life in an institution? Kamachak in the house. Okay. I shared your last video about minimalism with a few friends, a couple more subscribers. I appreciate that. It's funny, minimalism didn't get very much traction. It's kind of a confusing thing about videos when you put them out there. I think the thumbnail and the title has a lot to do with the man buns, putting it out there. So my thumbnail was nothing special, and my title was nothing special, and there was nothing sexy about it. So Maybe that's it. But I enjoyed doing the video. I thought it was something that I wanted to do. And speaking of videos, I've had 4 or 5 guys write me about 6 months ago that somebody was hijacking my content. And I don't mean haters or trolls. I'm talking about other YouTube people, and one in particular. And then lo and behold, I flipped on YouTube today and I saw a video posted by someone, I won't mention who hijacked my content. In other words, the title. And 4 or 5 months ago, I had 4 or 5 guys write to me and say, hey, do you know that this individual is taking your titles and your content and making videos? And at first I thought it was my imagination. So I've just written it off to imitation is the sincerest form of flattery and gone with that. And I've made a conscious decision now to try and do content that this person cannot duplicate. If that makes any sense. Let's see, there have been a lot of PLDT outages in Taos. You know, that is a problem that my Pinot and her sister are doing. Yeah, there's been a ton out here. I do see a lot of guys working, though, on lines out here, hanging new lines and whatnot. So, and they replaced one of the, what the hell they call transformers up the street from me with a bigger one. So things are getting better than worse. I got to give you that. I call it growing pains. I'm super happy with the internet here. But if I suddenly go dark in a few minutes, like I did on another live stream I did, it's not because of anything other than lack of electricity. Let's see, are you able to limit a number of subscribers to Gaylord's channel? You say you want to keep it small, but it seems like growth would be inevitable. I can't stop subs, no. I want to keep it small, though. So it won't be a channel for everybody. You know, it'll be a channel that my biggest problem with the channel has been I don't want to do it from home like I do my normal videos. I want to do it on locations. I want to be behind the camera instead of the front of the camera. And the biggest issue recently, kids, has just been rain. I cannot travel on the scooter and go to different locations. And then when I get to a location, it's got to be at the right time or the lighting is wrong. The light's got to be behind the camera. And so if, like, I was at a resort a couple days ago that May wanted to go to because they had a bathtub. Anyway, so we did that. And I was trying to videotape from the balcony and the sun was rising and it was just completely whitewashing it. And then when I turned the camera around the other way where it was behind me, everything was groovy, but the view was like of a sliding glass door. So that wasn't going to work. And then there's, of course, sound. So I was out looking last week when it didn't rain at some chairs and some small tables to set up in my other room over here to make an actual studio. And then I need to get some wood and some material to block out. I could use aluminum foil also. Excuse me. But I need to control an environment. And so backdrops and things like that I want to make more interesting for myself and for you. But primarily, I'm being selfish here. I want to be able to have a controlled environment where if I want to do a video at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I can do it because I can control the light and the sound. I can deaden the sound in that room. Where here in the living room, if I did something the guy blaring up the karaoke across the way will come through the front door, and I'm going to be interrupted, or the friggin' rooster's going to crow. But I have a way in this one room of eliminating those issues. And it's just been a matter of getting out and doing it. I just need to buy a couple of chairs and a little stand for the camera. And then I have to construct some background stuff to put behind me. And I already have it in my mind's eye how to do it. But doing it and getting it done is two different things. It's not like I can run down to Home Depot and knock it all out in one shot. I've got to go to 7 different places to get one thing done. That's no bullshit. But anyway, it's I'm not in a race, you know. I'll do it when I do it. I get it done when I get it done. People do get offended. I circumcised 10 years ago. The price was a snip over $50. Let's see. Good morning, Paul. Sorry. So early over there, did the race? Well, I didn't. Oh, we already read that comment. Let's see. We jumped. The comments jumped. Here we go. All right, found it. Before it was the Cubs. By the way, checking in from New York. Well, thanks for checking in, buddy. Candle lighting is hot. The sound of the heels on the floor that got me. Good directing, Paul. Yeah, it took more effort than you can imagine trying to communicate what I wanted to have happen. The comedians are out today. I'm always getting fussed at for my no filter mouth, and I don't give 2 dog shots in a butt puddle about it. Yeah. You know, comedy is the last refuge, right? It's where you can do what you want to say. And even it's getting attacked. We're doing good, buddy. Everything's cool. A little bored because of the rain, but homebound. This afternoon, a friend of mine's got a car, so he's going to take us to lunch. And other than that, I don't know. I was a member of one of those A-Crowd high energy clubs. They ousted me when I lost my business and went, but yeah, you're as good as your last dollar, right? Highest form of racism is economic, kids. She has fiber optic pelvic GLD. Oh, as you see after heavy rains, isn't sealing the connection boxes correctly. Yeah, I've got PLDT, and but I don't have that issue in the rain. Good evening, Mr. McGill. Et al. Don't worry about the YouTube competition. Most of them are way too boring to watch in the live stream. Oh, I'm not dissident. What it is you know, God bless them. And the airwaves are the airwaves. And if you wanted to do 5 streams a day, I think you should. The only point I was making is I'm glad I don't feel like I have to. I would have to show up. You know, that's the last thing I want to do. Where I get irritated is where people take my titles and then duplicate them. It's like, come up with your own shit, man. Especially someone I've helped. Brother, you need to recognize the what? Well, I really enjoy your content. It's mature and informative. Besides, I love that chuckle. Well, thank you, Jim. My uncle in the Baranga captain, it can be a dangerous job. I believe that. I wouldn't want it. I don't know what it pays, but it ain't enough. And so they check your bank statements before you can join. Now, it's pretty much just guys. There's certain guys over here that through that I've met that within the first 10 or 15 minutes will let you know how much money they've got. You know, and it's not like they say, yeah, I've got $2 million or $10 million, but they'll say, you know, I've done very well for myself. And I just bought a car, and on and on and on and on and on. Hello from Myrtle Beach, Paul. I love relaxing to your stream. Well, cool. Kind of like family here. We are kind of like family, huh? That's why I come on here. I like to see you guys. I had my ex taken from me. My landlord is building 8 more apartments geared towards expats. Okay. Out here in the Philippines, I assume. Let's see. Ricky had a funny story about knowing he should tip the barangay captain to help him, like take you a fancy bottle of wine to an HOA president. Who was it that wouldn't take any money? It'll come to me. And your rent is 7,000 pesos a month for 2 bedrooms. Well, good on you. Knowing everything you do about life in Southeast Asia, do you think you would want to try to move out there earlier in life? Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. If I could have moved out here at the age of 30 or 40, that would have been awesome. Just a matter of, being financially secure at that age. I would never say it's racist. It's just stupid thinking because you have more money in life better than somebody being proud of your money. And then what? Life is too short for that. Yeah. Yeah, the word racist gets tossed around too much, but I do think that the biggest form of racism is economic, not about skin color or religion and all this, that, and the other. Real racism, in my mind, is done in private, When you're alone, you look over your shoulder and you're like that. You're like, hey, hey, George, always good to see you, buddy. I had my ex taken from a captain. Not sure what that means. Well, I got the vaccination card. We'll see what happens if I'd like to go come and enjoy traveling around the motorhome, but I'm getting bored. Traveling around America, I take it, no motorhome. I like minimalist bikinis too, Greg. I'm a major fan. I was going to go tee off on the censorship because they took down my thumbnail of May in a bikini, called it sex and nudity. They said, number 1, there's no sex act being performed, and number 2, she's not nude. So they reviewed it and said, well, we're still taking it down. Doug, did you hear it's only 5 days quarantine in Cebu when you fly to the Philippines? I did not. The bar keeps moving. I haven't been vaccinated. I'm not sure I want to be. And I'm going to do a whole thing on that on the other channel, because I don't want to get into it here. But because God knows it'll never end. But that's better. It's better than 2 weeks. I heard it was 10 days. The pain in the ass was when Bud Brown went there. He just did a video. If you haven't seen it, I recommend it. He had to have his vaccination card, which put me off. Number 2, he had to have what's called an S-Pass, which you get online. He had to have an antigen test. And he had the S-Pass going, but he didn't have one coming back. And I think the guy that was kind of counseling him on that, who's been going back and forth himself, maybe could have given him that little tidbit of information, because it caused him to spend the night. It cost extra money. Bulacan is north of Manila, 1 hour. We love it here. Oh, okay. Yeah, May and I want to get out and travel. At least I do. I'm sure Demae wants to too. And get off the island and go see some places. I want to go to Bohol, Iloilo, CDO, Davao, different places. The topography never changes. The buildings never change. there's no real reason to go other than just to kind of see what the vibe is and what the people are like. And I'm sure there's some beaches or some waterfalls or something you can see, but I've seen the beach and I've seen the waterfalls. So I would just like to go and see what the amenities are like, what the roads are like, what the people are like. And I know it sounds, I don't know what the vibe is like. I don't know how else to put it. Where am I here? Minimalism doesn't sell ads, so YouTube algorithm probably keeps viewers away. I don't know. I was surprised. The video, of course, I launched the video at a really bad time on a bad day because they do tell you when you should launch your videos. And, but I do know what sells. I do know what gets a lot of views, and I do know what gets fewer views. So when I launched this, the last video about minimalism, I said, this is going to come in low. And I was right. However, the good news is the guys that watched it watched a lot of it. They hung in there with me for a long time. And a lot of, only one snarky comment. Wouldn't expect about video to attract minimal. Wouldn't you expect a video about minimalism to attract minimal traction? I guess that's true. Remember, bros. Let's see. As a Huli growing up in Hawaii, I learned to live a life of cultural tolerance. When I moved to New Carolina, I was shocked by the racial overtones from all. Yeah, I found that in the, where the hell was I? I was with my ex-father-in-law driving through a town, and we were going from, where the hell were we? Midwest. We were going to, where they have the Mississippi. There's a town for you. It goes, I mean, it's just really ugly there. But you know what? There's the older generation that grew up and all that. They're not going to change. And they just are what they are. And I think that in the 70s and the 80s, we had made so much progress as far as all that goes. And then it became political. And again, that's for the other channel. Watch My World. He still shops at Hypermart. I do shop at Hypermart. You said you won't buy a car now. How about buying a three-wheeler and keep out of the weather and safe or rough on slippery roads? I don't like the three-wheelers. My friend's got one, and you still got to hunker down and drive it like a motorbike. A car, what May and I do is we stock up a lot of food in the house. That was a lesson we learned over COVID. So we're never going to go hungry. If it rains really hard, I manage to stay occupied. And so does May. I have a book that I'm reading. I can go online and jicky-jack around, take 2 or 3 naps in one day. And people say you're wasting your time. And it's like, or think that. And I say, no, I'm not. I'm spending my time exactly as I want to. It's good for me, at least, to do absolutely nothing. It doesn't mean that I'm not making progress, because a lot of times when I'm doing nothing, I'm thinking and I'm pondering and I'm reflecting, and I get ideas or thoughts that intrigue me. and I do some writing. So staying home is okay. I'm not bummed out by it at all. Only if I have to really be somewhere, have a rare appointment with a dentist or a doctor or something like that, and then it becomes an annoyance. But the car thing, I've just shined on that idea because buying a used car out here is not the same as buying a used car in the States. There is no Carfax. There is no way of really knowing what's going on with the car unless you just get really lucky. And then it's a hassle to drive because it's a hassle to park. Scooter is just a much more efficient way to get around. I just don't see the balance there. If it comes to a point, and I've always said this, where the scooter is something that I can no longer handle, because my balance or my eyesight, or I'm putting myself at risk or other people at risk, then the car is going to be a natural progression. I never want to buy anything over here that I can't walk away from. I'm not looking at one thing right now in my apartment that, other than this computer and my phone and some clothes, that I would miss or feel bad about because I'm walking away from it. I would just give it away, and it wouldn't amount to more than $1,000. Watching from the UK. Well, okay, from the UK. Hello. Good day. If you're watching. Hello, Mr. Old Dog from New York City. Loved Gaylord's last video. Thank you. It really didn't go, I really didn't stay on task with that. Because what Global Greg asked me to do and what I did was two different things. But it was more of a tongue-in-cheek kind of video that I just wanted to do for a grin, PJ O'Rourke, staying married may have long-term benefits. You can elicit much more sympathy from friends over a bad marriage than you ever can from a good divorce. In Arizona, if you use tinfoil, it's probably a crack meth house. Yeah, probably is. Never thought of that. Oh, good. All the fires are out. That's good news. Good morning, Philippines, from GM Vlogs UK. Oh, yeah. We're still having fun. We have our moments. What's Gaylord's channel? Gaylord's secret channel, brother. Is it dangerous living out there? People break in. I've never had a break-in. I don't find it dangerous out here at all. I thought it was going to get really psycho when people lost work and all that, but no. There are some bad areas that May has pointed out to me right down the road from us. And apparently, if I hang a left at one spot, a few miles, I'm in Shabu Town. Shabu is like meth. And back in the day, when I was dating a girl, she lived in another section of town that was the same thing, sort of a Shabu shanty town. And I offered she says, let me off here. We had gone on a date and I was taking her home, and she hopped off the scooter and I said, well, let me drive you home to your place. And she goes, Paul, if you drive in, you may not drive out. So, there's if you want trouble, you can find it. But I felt more danger in Vegas than here ever. You go into the wrong part of town in Vegas, you got all kinds of hurt. There are many people that believe classism, economic status, is just as big a problem as racism in the States. Lots of isms. I guess you have to pick which one you want to be the most offended by. Yeah. I think a lot of it is just hyperbole in your mind. I just think economic divide is the biggest form of racism, as opposed to religion or color or creed. Let's see. There are a lot of expats where you live, not that many. They're shrinking every day. Guys are leaving and not coming back because they can't get back in. And or a few can get in with the right kind of visa and quarantine and shots and records and all that kind of stuff. And most guys have just shined it on until later. I think there's a few guys telling me they're showing up in October. What happens in October, I don't pretend to know. Could I do a 5-day quarantine if I was coming over here? Yeah, I could. Could I do a 2-week quarantine? No. 5 days, yeah, I could get around. But I had TV or something. You see, speaking of money, what happened to the guy trying to buy a cruise ship? Oh, that's Mark. He's still around. He did like 3 vlogs in a row. So what's it called? Every Man Has a Story. Him and I had breakfast a week ago, and I advised him on a couple of topics. He was experiencing a loss in views. He was experiencing a loss in subscribers. And so I had a little heart-to-heart with him. Just gave him my opinion. And he took it for a little while and then seemed to kind of go back to his old habits. But here's what it is, you know. Are you leaving or living? I live above Dumaguete. I'm not leaving. I live above Dumaguete in a place called Valencia. I'm about 20 minutes from Dumaguete itself. I'm up the hill, if you will. Let's see, I just woke up. Sorry for mumbling. Good to see you, bro. God bless you and baby May. Good to see you, as always, Mr. David. Pattaya, Thailand is supposed to open up August 1st. For the least restricted sandbox. Only problem is the girls went back to their home village. The girls are there. And I have some friends over there. They're there. Sorry, my bad. There is a man that is super rich. He lives in, okay. Is it me or am I not understanding stuff today? Rain in the field can be a downer, but part of the region. Good music, good friends, comedy solves it. Yeah, you know, as long as the juice stays on, as long as the electricity stays on, and it's raining outside, and it doesn't stop us. I mean, we can take umbrellas and walk. We're close to a lot of stuff. There's a tricycle guy that lives across the street from me. He's not the friendliest guy in the block. And I've got 2 or 3 guys that I can call if push came to shove and say, hey, can you give me a ride? They've got cars and trikes and all that. In fact, my very good friend Gary is moving in just down the street 5 minutes from me, walking distance, and he's got one. And so I might lean on him once in a while to go do something, especially just me and him go out and do something by ourselves. And we'll just take his trike. I mean, his little, what they call it, Bajas or whatever. Hey, Steele. I had my second shot of Pfizer on Monday. No side effects. Right on. I haven't had any shots. 5-day quarantine in Cebu only applies to residents of Cebu City. Also, we have yet to see a national government will kick back again. See, there you go. You hear one piece of information, and then it gets clarified like it just did. So, I'm figuring sometime next year. But don't want to get into the whole vaccine thing. That's for the other channel. But when will it open? No one knows. Just saying, a lot of foreigners steal other girls. I have no clue where you're coming from, bro. Lots of bureaucratic procedure to get used to in the Philippines. Boy, there's an understatement. Yeah, everything's done triplicate. Everything's in a notebook. Nothing's computerized or digitalized. Redundancy is the key here. And fill out forms and then another form. And then that form's wrong. And then it gets time dated. And it needs, now it needs to get notarized or stamped or approved. And so trying to just get one thing done, you sometimes have to go to 5 different places. I did a video about opening up a bank account for May. It's actually a very funny story, but what a drill. I will say I'm staying at my brother's house in Cebu. Okay. I lived in Dumaguete for 12 years. And where do you live now, Sean? William Davis, thank you for the super chat. This is Dubai. A muzzle for that rooster in the background. Love your channel, sir. Peace. Thank you very much. It's very kind of you. I don't know if the muzzle will work because he's got friends that he talks to all over the neighborhood. In Mexico, November through January. Yeah, there's all kinds of places you guys can go, you know. Mexico's open. Thailand's open. What else? A lot of South American countries. Good old Nicaragua with Dean down there. Some European places are open. I can't remember them off the top of my head, but, you know, good old Google, give it a shot. So I always said that if you're really dying to get to the Philippines and your house is sold and the car is gone and you're in a holding pattern, why not just bug someplace cheap to live like Mexico and get that experience? You know, get out of your comfort zone. Go hang out there or Nicaragua or Thailand or whatever your budget will allow. I understand the airfares are jacked up and I understand a lot of flights are being canceled. So I don't know if I'd want to put up with that bullshit. But personally, I've said it 1,000 times, I need to get back to America, but I can't come back here. And I can't afford to stay in America for any length of time. I don't have anywhere to stay. You know, my dad's got a small condo for himself. My sister, I think she lives with roommates. And I can go to Vegas. Yeah, I can crash with a couple of guys here and there, but I'm never comfortable doing that. You know, I like to have my own little place. I have weird hours, you know, so I wake up at 3 o'clock and I don't want to wake up people that I'm staying with and stuff like that. So, and finding someplace cheap, whew. I did a video not too long ago about taking May to America. And one thing I really, really should have stressed and didn't was I meant to say for vacation. And people interpreted it to I was going to move there and set up, you know, camp with May and indoctrinate her into America. And all those comments came in. My father-in-law and brother-in-law were in Thai command, similar to Baringa captain. Their house was rocketed twice. The brother-in-law was killed by a neighbor who hadn't liked the decision. Yeah, there is a lot of jungle justice out here. I'll tell you that much. I interviewed a young lady one time who was an orphan, and her mother was guilty of chismis. In other words, chismis is gossip. And her mother, when she was a small child, had said something very damaging to some degree about one of the neighbors, and they lit the house on fire and killed the mother. That's why the girl was an orphan. There's some drive-bys here that happen. Certain guys will be driving in their car, walking down the street, driving a scooter, and it never fails. It's always the same MO. Two guys dressed in black, no license plates on the back of the scooter, pull up next to him and just do a drive-by, blasting. It's usually a political figure. It's usually a drug dealer, or it's somebody of some sort of authority. Every blue moon, a foreigner will get his ass kicked or killed just for being a total dick or causing people to lose face. That's the big crime out here, losing face. I mean, you could rob a guy and not get killed for it. But if you insult a guy, you can. Let's see, hi, Paul. Have you experienced fiestas over there in the Philippines? Way too many. All fiestas are the same. All fiestas are identical, one to the other. It's sit down, eat, drink beer, get drunk. The men get drunk, women gossip. Depending on their status, they have a pig or they don't have a pig. Everybody brings food. It's kind of like one big block party for 2 or 3 days. It doesn't change. Same thing with Christmas. Same thing with birthdays. You know, there's a people ask me, what do you miss about America? And the typical answer is the food and the infrastructure and stuff like that. But I came to realize that, as you mentioned, the fiesta thing here, is that all the holidays out here, the celebration of it is identical. You can't tell the difference between a birthday party, a Christmas party, a christening, and a wedding. With the exception on the wedding, you're going to have the ceremony. The food's going to be the same. The music's going to be the same. The seating's going to be the same. And just depending on your financial status, how nice the tables and the chairs are. But there's going to be some karaoke, and everybody just kind of gathers in their little group. And there's about 7 different dishes that you can eat. And it's just a lot of similarity. And so I used to dig going because it was a gathering before. And now I have absolutely no interest in going because it's Groundhog Day, you know. In America, 4th of July, you got fireworks. Thanksgiving, you have turkey. Christmas, you got a Christmas tree. There's some variety to it. And that I miss. I am vaccinated, tested, and they still want me to quarantine for 10 days to come to the Philippines. All the restrictions have not stopped COVID. The restrictions have just made more unemployed. I agree with you 1,000%. And what the fuck's the point in getting vaccinated if it's supposed to protect you? And yeah, I won't go there. That's for the other channel. It's amazing how they wanted to take down Baby May's bikini thumbnail. If you search for Brazilian wax here in the YouTube, you'll get a full-on video of kittens getting waxed. Yeah, someone else told me that. I'm going to use that thumbnail again. I'm just going to throw it up again. Maybe I'll put it on my minimalism business. Maybe I'll just do that. You know what? Maybe I will take her, it has nothing to do with minimalism. Well, actually it does, because it's a very minimal bikini. I think I'll do that after the freaking stream. I think I'll change the title, and I think I will put the bikini video that they banned on my last video. What have I got to lose, right? I think I'll do that. I think I'll just flip it back up there and see what they do. So there. I've had both jobs. So far, so good. Sean, buddy, I'm not understanding you. I lost my place again. There we go. For the extended warranty, you must. Yes. I almost forgot the ever important like button. What do you guys think? You think I should change? I have a video out called Minimalism. And it came in really weirdly low. And it's just, I'm pretty sure the reason is because maybe the title didn't catch on, but it's just a mug of me, which never gets any attention. But I think I'll throw May's ass back up there and see if they take exception to it. Bud Brown and Big Blue. Yeah, I got to go see Bud Brown this week. He's been a busy boy, but I want to hook up with him next week. We've got some stories to share. We know some of the Illuminati together. You should be writing a book. I've actually kind of started a journal. I think I could it's very difficult for me I could type, but I could only type on an old school typewriter, if you can believe that. You know, the one where you go, and pull it back and then type. I can't do it on the computer. I keep hitting the wrong buttons and it keeps flipping around. I need an old-fashioned typewriter, but I've thought about doing a audio book. Not necessarily to sell or print or publish or anything, but just for myself. This is a form of audio book, but the video puts another component to it where I would rather just put my musings and my thoughts and then maybe sort it out later. Thank you for all the votes in 2020. Without you, none of us would be here. The addictive fool with a red button. I'm confused today. Jim, I was shocked by a question that I was asked by a mediator in Maui over a tenant eviction. She wanted to know my race. Why? Huh? Interesting. That's my point, Eddie. Thanks for picking up on that. I was currently listening to a guy on the radio that's real busy. He's got a podcast. And he got sick with COVID. And he's one of these guys that reminded me of me. I mean, he was always working or taking his kids somewhere, or every day came with its responsibilities and stuff he had to do, whether he wanted to or not. And when COVID kicked his ass and planted him in bed where the only energy he had was to change the channel, he related to the fact, he says, it was actually thoroughly enjoyable being sick because I had absolutely no responsibilities and nobody expected anything of me. And it was nice relief. And that's kind of how I feel about the rain. It's like, you know what? Okay. I won't be going downtown. I won't be doing this. I won't be doing that. I'll be missing out on this. Supposed to meet with that person and we're going to do this or make a video. We'll just have to stall it. But I'm perfectly cool with it because when I'm doing nothing, I'm really not doing nothing. It's hard to explain, but I am doing something. Sometimes it just doesn't require a lot of movement. Let's see, a free like button promo has been extended. Make sure to stretch and hydrate. Yes. Yeah, I wasn't going to mention it because for the longest time I had the like button at half off, half price. Then we went to free. And since the quarantine's still in effect, the like button on this video is still going to be 100% free. That's my gift from me to you. But if you do, make sure you stretch and hydrate. Let's see, the idea that you always have to be doing something is very American, in my opinion, unhealthy. I agree. It's fine that you're a naturally industrious person, but people who aren't shouldn't feel bad. Right. I agree with you 1,000%, man. You're never really doing nothing when you're staying at home. And like, I've got drawers that I need to straighten out that would probably take me, I'm a procrastinator, by the way, it'd probably take me 30 minutes and I could eliminate all this crap that's in these drawers and I just leave it. I don't feel like doing it. And to me, that's a win. I don't feel like it. I don't know. It's hard to explain. But I like being able to sit outside, smoke a couple cigarettes, drink some coffee, chicky-jack around on the phone. And sometimes I have this epiphany where an idea comes and I write it down. And it may be 3 weeks later, but it comes back to me and it comes into the form of a video. And see, I am from Sarnia. I used to go to Port Huron all the time, or Detroit. I don't know. It's an odd question. Maybe the sheriff needs to know. Sometimes I rent a van and the day and driver if I need it to, but that's not all often rather than doing the maintenance of the vehicle of my own. Yeah, Michael, that was my philosophy. I've yet to do it. I've yet to rent a car. I was going to rent it to go out to Chateau and see May's family. And I guess they've all been sick quite a bit. So we've avoided that. I think they got COVID, to be honest with you. I know reason the kids were down, May's sister with fevers. Her parents have been under the weather. And I mentioned it to May. I said, why don't we go out there? And she said, no, nobody's feeling good. Let's just avoid it. So she did send them, now that we mentioned it, she did borrow some money from me, 2,000 or 3,000 pesos, to send them for medicine. And I haven't had the heart to ask for it back because I got this rule that I'm not going to support your family. But and she's always really good about it. Like when she takes, because I always have cash on me and she never does. She has 200 or 300 pesos because she likes to keep it on the down low. And so she'll say, you know, can I have 1,000 pesos for this? Can I have 1,000 pesos for that? I'll pay you back. And she always pays me back. And it actually bothers, I never ask for it, but it bothers her if she owes me money because I've taught her how to make her own money. If that makes any sense. And so with that comes responsibility. And so I think I do her a solid by having her pay me back. It's all going to be hers anyway if I die. So what's the difference? That's all set up. So where was I going with this? Oh, yeah. So the car. We've had no real reason to rent the car because there's a Chateau, which is only an hour away, but I don't want to risk it in the bike because of the weather. I can drive out there. I can drive back. But if it starts to rain, I'm screwed. But they've been sick. And then we've been wanting to go just to someplace simple like Baguio, which is in Negros Occidental. We're in Oriental, and we can't cross the border. We can, but there's a secret route that you're supposed to take, and I'm not about to jack with that. So, but I agree with you. Sorry for the long-winded answer. Have you ever been to Santo Domingo? Nope. Never been there. Gaylord's video was great, man. My suggestion was just a jumping off point. Love what to do with. Okay, well, cool. Yeah, I wanted to get more into the, you know, how a man changes from his 20s to his 30s to his 40s and that whole progression. But then I got off on a tangent. And it was really more about May lighting the candles, you know, because I came up with that like the last 5 minutes before I did the video because I saw these candles. that were on this table where I put where I put Gaylord. And I thought, I got an idea. And so you saw the results. Thank you very much. So what do you guys think? You think I should take my last video and stuff up the banned picture of May? What do you guys think about that? Using a water spray bottle and bubble gum wrap is a great way to save us in your neighborhood. Using a water and bubble wrap is a great way to save cold, hot loss in your neighborhood. Can't see through it. I think you're talking about the studio. Did you have some coffee and garlic fried chicken? I just had my coffee, bro. That's it. It's too early for breakfast. Hello from Illinois. Nice to see you, boss. Garden updates. Yeah, I planted watermelons again, and they're coming up fairly nicely. And I changed the location where they got more sun, which is what they needed. And then about a week and a half ago, I planted broccoli, and it was supposed to sprout after 7 days, but we got just a deluge of rain. And so I don't know what happened to those seeds. I put extra seeds in there, so I figured I'd thin it out once it came up. And I can't tell. There's different things growing up out of my row, and I can't tell which one's broccoli and which one's not. So, but the watermelons are doing good. And May's peanut farm is blooming in the back. She shined on. She was all crapped out for about a month because she over-fertilized it. And then she finally settled down. We retilled the earth, and she put just peanuts in there. And now she's grown some chives that she got from some farmer girls that live up the street and grow asparagus. And she was up there today with them jacking around. God only knows what they were up to. Also from Illinois is in the house. Suggestion for Gaylord: bikini cooking of your favorite foods in the kitchen while you speak about your favorite endeavors and exploits over the years. Well, we'll keep that in mind. Always be careful in the hood is right. Hi, James. A rebuilt four-wheel drive would be cool. I've seen those around here. But my primary deal for the car, original thought, was when we go island hopping. We go here, we go there. I thought traveling, especially with May's wardrobe, is I would want to have the car and carry all of our stuff, because we can't go anywhere without 14 changes of clothes for her, which is fine. It's just being a girl. And I wanted it reliable. Last thing I wanted to do was lose an alternator in, friggin' Bahal and not being able to get one. Now I've got the car stuck on another island, and I don't need that aggravation. So I'll rent a car. If I bought a car, it'd be a new one. Baguio and North Luzon are a couple of cities that are not the usual Philippines look and feel. Up near Baguio, it gets around, so that's nice to visit. Yeah, I've heard Baguio is, in fact, I looked at Baguio before I came out here. I had a friend go to Baguio. He hated it because it was very hilly, and it's a city of pines. And from the bad news about Baguio, it was built for something like 40,000 people. It was a vacation area, I believe, for GIs back in the day. And now it's got all kinds of people. It's quite the destination for the locals. I just heard it's very crowded, very expensive, and very hilly. So it would probably be on my radar for a 1 or 2 day trip, just to say I did it. I will tell her. It's not used. The guy typing with half a brain can't seem to form a complete thought. Yeah, I'm just not following this guy. You mentioned famous people who came to your Santa Monica car lot. Did you say you sold a car to Charles Bronson? Those are my favorite revenge movies. Might watch one tonight. I didn't sell cars at Walker Burgie Ford in Santa Monica. I was a finance guy there. Charles Bronson did buy a car there. I was not there when he came in. Goldie Hawn bought a car there. I wasn't there when she came in. I was there when Joe Jackson came in. I did the finance deal for Smokey Robinson, and we talked for an hour and a half about golf, and he gave me his home phone number and invited me to go play golf with him, Smokey Robinson. What a cool guy. Holly Hunter, before she became famous, came in and bought a truck, and she was a total twat. Should do a whole video about her. I cannot watch one of her movies to this day. My ex-wife always got a kick out of that. So I came home fuming. I go, you know what this bitch did? And then Guns N' Roses, the blonde-haired kid, I don't know his name, came in to buy a car before they signed their first record deal, so we couldn't get him financed. His girlfriend was just like an 11. So many famous people came through there. Who else? You know, the manager for the Doors came in, and he was like involved on one album. He wasn't the manager. He was some sort of, I get confused in all the titles with show business, but he was like involved on one of the Doors albums, and he got $7,000 a month for life. Can you imagine, what the other people made? Who else was famous? Came in there. But they all used to pull up in their Rolls Royces, in their Maseratis, in their Lamborghinis, and they bought Jeeps. It was a dual dealership, Ford Jeep. And they all bought Wranglers and Cherokees and spent stupid money getting lift kits and stuff like that. It was their beach car. And the guys used to make a killing off of them. Would it be worth it to ship a vehicle? No. Feel free to check into that, buddy. It's not feasible. Good morning, Stephen. Yeah. Bud Brown's a good guy. Real simple channel. No posturing, no ego, just day-to-day life. He's one of the guys that I watched prior to coming out here, and made it a point to make friends with him after I got settled in. In case you've been drinking, you might want to utilize the entire 200 characters to make your comments more relevant. Keep smiling. So it wasn't me, okay, because I wasn't following what this guy was saying. Does she cook with bitter melon much? No. Grumpy dude Byron, I was thinking the same thing. Dude makes 0 sense. Should probably hang it up for the remainder. Drinking and texting. I was thinking about doing on the other channel, sitting down and getting drunk with a couple of guys to see how that went. Just keep drinking and make a video. Let's see. What do you mean checking out the vibe of the place? Well, you walk into a place and it's got like a positive vibe, or it's got a negative vibe, or a weird feeling. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But I've walked into rooms, parties, places, and felt uncomfortable. I can't explain it. It's just a vibe. It's just a feeling. And I felt the opposite. I felt totally at home in certain places. Nice to see the goatee came back because I shaved it off because it was Baby May's birthday. She didn't like it. So I shaved it off. Okay, it's your birthday. You win. And then now it's not your birthday, so I win. Yeah, you can get into Phuket. My friend is using, I forgot the name of the service. He's going there, but he's using a service that takes care of all the bullshit. The tickets, the hotel, the testing, and I think it cost an extra $700 or $800, but it's like a package deal, and you can research that. Let's see. Lighting the candles was like a Star Trek transporter accident. I was transported instantly in 1992, but I realized that it was not real, just like the high school in 1982. I heard that Gio's channel that Indonesia has opened up now. Okay. Probably has. Mark Day, check the duty fees. Yeah. There's bringing up, no one that I know has brought a car or a motorcycle over here. I think it would have to be shipped in parts. And even then, you could get in trouble. Some American guy got married online to a Filipino. He is in Cebu in quarantine right now. Yeah, I did a video about online marriage, by the way. Let's see, watching from St. Petersburg, Florida. Keep up the great work. Thank you. Let's see, take it to the USA and do it before your father passes. If you can, she will love it, and she will love your father and her. My greatest regret was I get my girlfriend a visa until my dad died. Well, getting May over there is easier said than done. So it'll be me solo. It's so hard to get a Filipina into the States right now. There's guys that have been trying for years, fiance thing and all this and that. So if I go, it'll just be me. And I'll bounce around for a couple of weeks, and then I'll come home. Good morning, Tony. Konnichiwa, bitches. Konnichiwa, Ted. Konnichiwa, Pablo. Thank you very much, my friend. I take it you saw the show. The mayor of Rhonda, the vice mayor of Rhonda. I'm so glad I decided against my nap today. I think I've missed the past 2 or 3 live streams. There hasn't been very many live streams, bro. I think the last one I did was over a week ago. We've had Brownout City, and I just haven't been in the mood to do a live stream, to be honest with you. My brother-in-law, counselor from Rhonda, all shot dead. Yeesh. I saw that too. Knowing the story of what I experienced with my ex-husband, he might have had a different perspective of his choices. Good luck to Roy and Cebu. Knowing the story of what I experienced with my ex in Mindanao, he might have a different perspective of his choices. Good luck to Roy in Cebu. I always thought you had to meet the person in person before you could get married online. But I did a video about it was a lousy video. It was impromptu and nobody was prepared. But the bottom line is I have my friend Gary and his wife Leah got married online, and it cost $1,300, and it was done within a week. Actually, it was 3 days, and they had all the stuff that they needed. It's an American marriage. It was knocked in. It was knocked out. It's recognized in the Philippines. But they knew each other. And I asked Gary, I said, did you have to actually meet the person in person before you could marry them, before you get married online? And he said, yes. But according to this video that you're referring to, they've never met. They've only met online. So I don't know how that worked. See, that's how information goes. Mark Day, your vehicle must be 3 years old or newer, and you will pay import fees the equivalent of what you paid for the vehicle in the States. There you go. There's the definitive answer. Yeah, any Burr month is a Christmas party. September, October, November, December, people are already putting up the friggin' lights. Yeah, it was on Filipino Peace channel today. And I watched a little bit of it because it caught my attention because I had done a video about being married online. And so this guy, from what I didn't watch the whole video, but from what I could ascertain was he's never met the girl. And I thought you had to have met them in person prior to the marriage, but what do I know? Do you get bored in the Philippines for the same things? I don't get bored that often out here, to be honest with you. Let's see. Hello from Stevensonville Rants. Me and the wife have 5 more years at 62. Okay. Retiring in Siquijor. We already bought a lot 15 years ago. We just need to build a house. Well, you bought it at the right time, buddy. That's righteous. That's very, very cool. Good on you. I like Siquijor. And, you know, Siquijor is kind of a sleepy town. I always thought that I would get bored living in Siquijor, but it's only 30 minutes from here. So you could have like your place there. You can live your life. You can get yourself set up. There's plenty of beaches. There's plenty of restaurants. I don't know why I think I'd get bored there. But, you know, if you needed more, like a hospital or something like that, I don't know. It's just a ferry ride across to here, 30 minutes or so. The U.S. pharmaceutical giant reported a net profit of $5.6 billion in revenue the second quarter of 2021, mainly thanks to the COVID-19. I believe that. They did a good job rolling it out, I'll tell you that much. What's the other channel? Anybody want to tell me the other channel? No, we're going to keep it small. Man, I got all these comments. I'm going to go through the comments real quick because I'm not going to stay on much longer. Been on for an hour and a half. Incoming booster season. Good old boosters. I'll go back and look at them video again. How about Paul in a bikini? Would they ban that or keep it? That would lose views. You say it's 18 above. This channel's 18. No, this channel's not. No, this channel's not. Yeah, that might be true. But I'm gonna put on my last video, I'm gonna put the bikini that they banned. See if they do it again. Oh, I'll go back and look at the men in the video again and see if you add the cute girl. Okay. Well, after I get done with this, that's what I'm going to do. It'll take me about an hour. Okay, thanks. All right, I will. I just want to see what happens. And I'll still leave the same title, Minimalism. It is pretty minimal. Kids, I'm going to run to the comments. I love Bud Brown too. Look at his voice commands to type. Really? Voice commands to type. Interesting. To make the book, you mean? You know, that's a good idea because there's a long-ass story that I need to tell where I need to sit down and check facts and dates and contact people. You know what I mean? Via email, wait for the response. Because there's a long-ass story that I want to tell about my first year in Las Vegas. But dates and names and times escape me. So I need to contact people that were around at that time. And then as I get the information, just speak it and have it typed. So that would be good. That would make for a good video. In other words, it would be like not a scripted video, but it would be one where at least I was reminded, because I don't do scripts. I do train of thought videos, but I would need to have that information just so I can make it cognizant. Always leech on there. I'm going to try leech on groundhog. Age restricted video. Yeah, because see, this isn't age restricted. Oh, they can come all they want. Creativity also requires being a state. Tom Hanks, an avid typewriter collector. He's a documented California. He will send free typewriter to anyone that wants one. He wants to spread the typewriter love. Well, tell him to send me one. You got my address, Bev. Sure, do your drawer, leave some stuffed animals alone. You'll pay dearly. You know, my one friggin' desk. It's supposed to be mine, or chest of drawers, or whatever you call it. I claim that. And you know what? Just to be a little shit, she went and put a bunch of stuffed animals in it. She's just showing her weight. A little power play from May. I retired after 30 years of law enforcement. I deserve the right to do nothing. Amen, Jim, and God bless you for being in law enforcement. I love the cops. Even though they've been mistreated by a few, that's okay. I know the guys that mistreated me when I was younger. Had the situation been different, would have saved my life. That's the way I look at it. I want the free warranty. All right. It'll come with a 1-year free warranty. God, I'm giving away the store. You know, I'm losing money on every video, but I'm making it up in volume. Remember that. 12 more days. What happens in 12 days? I'm putting Miller Pet Products to sleep. Oh, well. Kids are guaranteed sickness spreaders, unfortunately. I reorganize my drawers. I hate it when they ride up. Jim, I'm the one doing the evicting. So bizarre to me to be asked a question about race as part of a mediation. That would be a weird question. No criticism here. Just curious. Why no support her family rule? That's a long-winded answer. I think that it's too long-winded of an answer. Number one, May never asked for it, which is totally unusual, which made May a keeper. She never dragged me into it. It's kind of like welfare, and it kind of becomes expected. It's very, very hard for me to succinctly explain it to you, to give it its due. But I would be happy to get into that, maybe on the other channel or maybe on a separate video titled Why I Don't Support Her Family. I've done one where I said, should I support her family? So that would be redundant, I guess. But here's the thing. I'll try to sum it up this way. Filipinos, in my opinion, have no future thinking. May's one of the few people that remembers. In other words, she'll come to me a week later after I did her a solid, financially or physically or just whatever, as you'll say, you know what, I just want to thank you again for what you did for my sister or whatever, because I do help them. Okay, I'm not Scrooge. But we just keep it quiet. It's the same thing with charity work. We keep it all very quiet. But what can happen is you give 1,000 pesos today, and then May actually warned me about it. She said, you know, I gave so-and-so in my family 6,000 pesos, and now they won't talk to me because they can't pay it back. They borrowed it. So money tends to create more issues than it solves. I think that's the best way of summing it up. And it's endless. It never stops. There's always a need. I mean, I don't know about you, but you know, it'd be nice if somebody dropped $1,000 on me right now. I don't know what I'd do with it, but it'd be nice. I could go jack it off on something and then forget about it and then want another 1,000 pesos. I'll never forget in America, my ex-brother-in-law was going through some trouble, and I was doing well at the time. And he called me up and he said, listen, man, he says, I hate to ask you this. He says, but can you loan or can you spare? He wanted a gift of $500. He said, you know, if you gave me $500, Paul, that would catch me up on my rent. I'm short like $100 on that. I need a couple of $100 to get solid with my car payment. I'm a little short on that. And it would put some food in my refrigerator. $500. It's okay. It's not a loan, it's a gift. I wrote him a check. I think I wrote him a check. It was that long ago that he actually wrote checks. And I mailed it to him. And he cashed the check. And right after he cashed the check, he wrote me back and said, hey, can I have another 500? Because now I need a new pair of shoes to go on a job interview. And I said, no. It's kind of that mentality. They get the impression that you're just this bottomless pit. You're an ATM. We're all millionaires from America because we live in a little nicer house and we have, you know, money in our pocket. And if we do go see them, we pick up the check. So their perception, it's kind of like if I was bullshitting with Bill Gates right now and said, you know, Bill, I could really use 50,000. Well, I know that 50,000, you could probably find that in the seat cushions of his couch. That's their impression of you and me. We're all Bill Gates. Long story, right? For somebody that wasn't going to talk about it. Yeah, you will feel better once you like the video. I can guarantee you that. This is the health issue of live streams. Let's see. Stuff it. Okay. Where? Who cares about race? There's always black this and white that. I don't. And I don't think most people do. I think it's just a small amount of people making a lot of noise. Checking in from Florida. I think baby should get a new bikini post. That OD. Is it cool to go to the Philippines now due to COVID? No. It's hard to get in here. It's really weird, but it shouldn't matter unless it is an appropriate question of someone being naive. Yeah, that's a weird question to ask somebody. Tired of waiting to visit you guys again. Headed to see Pure Alpha Life in Nicaragua. You're like number 6. From what I understand, Dean's been a consummate host. Been really nice to everybody, showing them around, spending his time. A lot mellower in person. We'll have him on again soon. About time we had another Dean show, isn't it? Howdy there, Doug. All right, kids. So I am going to cut out of here. So I know I've got comments that I always end up leaving, so I apologize up front. Dave, I think it was, just got back from, and he said it was very boring. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to get monetized on the channel. I don't want to turn it into one of those deals. That's why I hit it for 18 and over. I'm gonna be able to piss off as many people as possible, not intentionally, but it opens up a different avenue because I want to stay true to this. This is about the Philippines. So guys ask when it's going to open up and how much do things cost and where would I go? And I want to, that's that. People like to talk about, not so much for me, like dating and all that kind of stuff. That's more up Gio's alley, not mine, although I approach it. And it's more May's alley too, the dating thing. Thanks, brother. Yeah, I'm going to do it. Fuck it. Let's see what happens. Hey, old dog, your farmer's daughter video was just awesome. That was an awesome video. I am very, I was, you know what? There's a lot of videos that there's a number of videos that I really are close to me, if you will. Some of them are just tongue in cheek, off the cuff, real quick, fast, funny, not so funny, whatever. And I dig them all on their own level. But that one, I really didn't even want to stop talking. I could have gone for another 20 minutes with those girls. And I felt that was one of the most genuine videos that I've done in a long time with genuine people. And it came out of nowhere, which is where most good things do come from, right? It's one of my favorite videos also. It really is. You guys haven't seen The Farmer's Daughters, check it out. It's a lot better than the Minimalism. Yeah, I don't know what Gio was talking about because I don't watch other channels. I mean, I already know what Gio's talking about. I know Gio. Gio's my friend. Paul's my friend. The P's my friend. So I don't watch their shows. Yeah, let's see what happens. So anyway, kids, I am going to cut it loose. I'm sorry, I got a whole bunch of comments here. And if I just keep going, I'm never going to stop. Let's see. Oh, it was Ed from Queens. Yeah, Ed from Queens went down there. I think he found it kind of boring after a while. He liked it. And we're talking about Nicaragua. I'm going backwards here. Let's see. The former videos didn't come out of nowhere. The farmer's video didn't come out of nowhere. Your manager arranged it. Thanks for the live stream, Paul. I love No D Fridays. I'm going backwards on these. Once money is introduced to the equation, it forever changes the relationship for both parties. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. It does change the relationship. My lending limit is 0. Yeah, I don't loan money either. I either give it away or I never loan it. I just give it away. I feel so much better now that I like you. Yeah, see that like button? It does good things to you. It has magical effects. Thanks, brother. Nice to see you, Jet. It's Gaylord's Secret Channel. Okay, I'll let it out. The biggest issue for me is that they never would accept you if it wasn't for the money. I'd have to debate that because I haven't given them any money and they still accept me. That's kind of my point. Helping family out for emergencies like you've done in the past, but created it. Yes. Thank you, Stephen. You said that much more succinctly than I did. I did pay for the funeral, or half of it, or something like that, when her grandmother died. Because I could and I wanted to. Wow, something happened to me and my brother in Haiti. Money destroys. Yeah. Money can cause a lot more problems than good. You think you're solving something when in fact you're just creating a monster. And I intend to do a big time video about these long distance relationships and guys sending money and doing stuff like that. And I know that's been a topic that's been done a lot, long distance relationships, but it's going to be a different vibe to it. It's going to be more of an ass chewing than anything else. The original Florida has support the family, can't afford the reason we want to stopped. They will always need money. Never do what you can't walk away from, brother. If you marry the Filipino, you marry the family. That's pretty much the rule of thumb, but I don't think it applies in my situation. Yeah, we're losing money on every video, but we're making it up in volume. Okay, I think I've covered them, kids. I'm going to say sayonara. Let's see. Never asked for money. Right on. Tommy Thomas. You started looking at YouTube, Philip. First came across, follow the rest of your friends. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff out there. Catch you guys later. I gotta go. It's almost 2 hours, and I'm going to let this thing process and set it up, and then I'm going to go back in on my phone, and I'm going to jicky jack around with that thumbnail. And on my minimalist video, I'm going to throw the thumbnail back up. Here's my buddy Nelda. Thank you very much, my love. And that's going to be it. And that says it all. Bye.